new episode on Evolving Dialogues. In 1960s, there was a young guy, budding psychologist. He went to a lab and there was this experiment going on, the dogs. Not the experiment which you expect, where you dissect the dog, not that kind of experiment, but social experiment kind of thing. So, in phase one dog was placed in a cage and he was given electric shock. I know it's sad, but that was the experiment. And that dog has the option to press the button and stop the shock. So when the shock were given in phase one to the dogs, they pressed the lever and the shock stopped. In the second phase, they separated the groups of dogs into two parts, into two groups. In one part, the dogs were given no shock, but in the other group, the dogs were given shock without any lever or button, so they were not able to escape that shock. So they became helpless. They just received the shock, and they were not able to do anything. After some time, they become docile and completely gave up trying to overcome how to avoid the shock. In phase 3, the both dogs were, one by one, dogs chosen from both the groups were put in the cage, and they had the option to climb up a barrier and escape the shock. So the dogs were given the shock, but they can escape it by climbing over the barrier. It was found that the dog who was in phase 1, who has learned to press the lever and avoid shock, they jumped the barrier and escaped the shock. But who were in the second phase, who were not able to escape the shock, they never tried jumping off the barrier. That's what learned helplessness is, and this is our topic for the podcast. Manish, can you shed some light on it?
Yeah, I also read about it, about the topic, and it's really it's kind of belief system we adopt in our childhood, or even we become adolescents. So that belief system may not be based on the real thing. Like like the dog, the experiment with the dog says that the dog believes that um, they have no control over the outcome of anything. Like electric shock, they had been given that one group of dogs thought that I cannot do anything. I have no control over my reaction, and he felt helplessness, and that is called learned helplessness. And I have one story about a particular thing, particular like elephant. That kind of thing is also very prevalent in that elephant who is uh, kept in the zoo. One day, one young man was walking, and then that he saw a huge elephant. Elephant was tied. That elephant's leg was tied in a very thin rope, and then it was. He was really amazed to see that. How can a thin rope can stop an elephant, so big elephant, to just move? He can that elephant can, if they just lift the leg, that everything can be destroyed. Even uh, the iron thing can also be broken by the elephant. He was really amazed. He went to the master of the elephant and asked, "What is the issue? Why this elephant do not just uh, run away from this little that thin thread?" Then his master told me that since he was very small, from the baby, I used to use that particular thin rope uh, to so that baby cannot move, and he became big and big, but that belief system that he cannot escape from that rope was still there, lying there. and that's why no, he's so big. He can even do anything. He can harm us. He can go at any time, but he cannot because he does not think. He that belief system is there that I cannot do. That is really helplessness. Learner helplessness is the same that experiment was then, and then this elephant is still being kept like that because then, since the baby they have been that elephant always believed that I cannot get away from this rope. So this happens with individual also. This happens with individual in the sense that when we are kids, when we are child, our parents, our relative tells us lots of things. Tells us that you are not competent enough. Your IQ is not that much low. You cannot do the IS thing. I remember particularly IS thing. I can relate to it that whenever we discussed about the UPSC thing, people and the relatives and then friends used to tell me, no, IS thing is very hard, very hard. It's very hard. You cannot just pass it. You require lots of perseverance and the study. And these are the things which can be cracked by the cream students only. So that belief system was in me that IS, IIT is tough. And then even IIT. Though I know that if I could have prepared, studied well, I could have completed. But that thing was there that no, IIT is basically for, can crack by those students who are really genius. And I always thought that I'm not that genius. I was in poor in math. So though I prepared for the IIT, but somehow deep down it was rooted that this IIT and IS thing is really tough thing, and it you even if you are trying, if you are making fool of yourself and fool of your parents, wasting money of your parents. Even I have enrolled lots of courses, prepare for the IIT, but deep rooted thought was there, belief system was there that I'm not uh, my IQ level is not met for the IIT, which in the later part of my life I really crushed that belief system. And I started preparing and thinking about the IS when I joined. I started my career, but of course I did not have time, and then I did not pursue. That is one of the experience I really encountered the belief system given by parents, given by stamp, given to you, given to child that you are not that competent, you are not that, your IQ level is not that thing, you should always strive for mediocre thing. So that is that those kind of belief system happens because of our surroundings and the people around us. What do you say, Amit? Do you have such type of any such experience of limiting belief?
Yeah, during childhood, when the grown-ups say that you are not good enough, or you are not competent enough, or whatever they say, they reflect their own perception on us, their own self belief on us. And at that very young age, kids are not articulate enough to challenge those beliefs. They believe whatever they are told. They are not matured enough, and unfortunately those kind of beliefs remain stuck with us for in our adulthood or as we grow up, and we forget to challenge these thoughts thinking that it will be always true, and
Yeah.
not challenging the thoughts. Let me give you an anecdote from my life. I mean, there are many anecdotes, but during my childhood, my cousins used to stay with us, with our family, and they would say that, gym is something, something, something. But I don't remember what they said, but the feeling I do remember. The feeling was that I, I'm not, I cannot go to the gym because I am a kid, or those who go to the gym who already have, a body. So I should have thought at that time that if anyone has a body, let's say a good physique or fitness, why would he go to gym? Anyone going to gym must be bad in physique, most of them. So I
Yeah.
did not think that way, because as a kid You don't challenge the things that are said to you. So that belief remained for me as I grew up. That belief was there, and I never challenged that belief. But subsequently, when my friends started going to the gym, I also joined the gym because of peer pressure or the ambition of having a good physique to attract the opposite gender. That was the main goal. So that led me. But I remember for the first few weeks, I was really, really shy in the gym, thinking these people are superior to me. I'm inferior to them. Why come here? So this kind of beliefs had been rooted in us from childhood, and the only way to overcome these beliefs is to challenge the thought process. We have to say that if we fail in life at some point of time, probably in childhood, that thing stuck with us, that we are not good enough, we are not competent enough. But that's the thing. If you fail once, twice, thrice, 10 times in a life, that doesn't guarantee that you will fail your whole life, or in the future. That is how we have to challenge our thoughts. We have to tell the story. We have to rephrase the story that we have been telling to us, the self-defeating stories that we tell us. We have to ask for the proofs. We have to rephrase it. We have to challenge the thought. So Martin Seligman, the young researcher who did this
Yeah.
research on dog, he did this research on learned helplessness, and he came out with this solution called learned optimism. And that is how you challenge learned helplessness. These days, people think, mostly the people who are depressed, when people are depressed, their thought process are twisted, and a simple interaction with human, a negative interaction, you can say, can ruin their day, or make them more sad. What I mean is, learned helplessness is one of the major cause why humans are sad or depressed, and they go on to commit
Yeah.
suicide. Sad to say, but yeah, that's one of the reason. And Martin Seligman invented, I may say, this technique called learned optimism. The core idea of this technique is to challenge your thought, the story that you have been telling yourself. You have to rephrase the thought. Like, a negative event that happened in your life is not pervasive and permanent. It will change if you put the right effort in. We think that we are not in control. That's the twisted thought, and that makes us hopeless, which is synonym to helplessness. But that's not the case. We have to realize and internalize the belief that we are in control. We have to challenge our self-limiting beliefs. Those are some things, Manish. I would add what you said. I mean,
Yeah, and I mean, what I have felt the fire is that in our childhood, when our parents, when our relatives start comparing us with the other kids,
true, Manish.
and then they would say that, see, those kids are your age and they are doing so good. They are competing in IIT. They have cracked IIT in the first attempt. So if you are really a IIT kind of guy, then you could have cracked in a one attempt. If you are giving a second and third, it means that you are not really IIT IIT kind of stuff is within you. That what is, of course, is a self-limiting belief, which is not self-limiting, is the limiting belief given borrowed by our
Yeah.
parents, by our surroundings. And because of we were so mature, so immature, and we had no interaction with the outside world, we thought that these are my world, and that is what we have been taught from since childhood, that our parents and our relatives are our world. We have to respect, we have to worship them. Even gurus, and nowadays guru
Yeah.
has different gurus. Even teachers, whatever teachers say, a student has to take it like it's like coming from the God in God's mouth. And that is what I will reflect on those incidents and those experience. when that is the mantra given by society, that uh, teacher may have experience, may have experience, but because of age, but it doesn't mean that they have to experience. They must have gone through those limiting beliefs, and that's why they are projecting towards the student. So parents, relatives, and teachers, they themselves have some limiting belief. They may not have competed and they may not have cracked whatever they have thought of doing, and that's why their their self-limiting beliefs comes into their offspring. They also think that they are my offspring. How could they uh, outsmart me and their parents? That is the thought. In the Hindi, there are lots of dialogue that रिश्ते में तो तेरे बाप लगते हैं, kind of thing. That thing is that no, father is always outsmart than their kid, but no, time has changed.
Yeah.
I always think my kid is way ahead than me, and I have realized it. And nowadays, everyone is realizing. I'm in my 90s era. It was not like that because there was no internet, nothing. We'll have to be dependent on those experienced people, whatever they teach, because only through newspaper, we know everything is not that you cannot get everything in the every form. So we have to depend on our friends, parents, relatives, who may have their distorted experience, and distorted knowledge about whatever topic we ask, and he under pretension that we could know that he doesn't know, they don't know, they made up something, some story, and that story we think that this is the truth thing. And that is what has happened with me also. Otherwise, I think if people, supportive person would have been there thinking, because I always believe that we all have the same potential. There is no difference of IQ, EQ. These are the skills. We all know, we have discussed, Amit, about the skills. So the potentials, you cannot say that that person is genius, this genius. They must have done hard work. And they did not have that limiting belief. If you do not have limiting belief, sky is the limit. You can go. There is no limit. You are limitless. Like one movie I have seen, that actor, you must have seen that, Limitless.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
great
He
movie.
takes the drug. He takes
He
a
has
drug.
got some medicine or something.
Yeah,
Drug.
I have seen.
That actor, I really find him smart. And anyway, that limitless kind of thing induced limitless. He really that kind of potential are within us. And when you are really with the person who himself feel that I'm also limitless, then only they can teach you the limitless. Otherwise, they all will teach you that helplessness, that experiment that scientist has done. So we have all gone through the helplessness, and then it becomes too late to shatter those kind of false assumption about ourselves. It's too late because, of course, age matters. And then when you are already into some stream, suppose I wanted to become a professor, and because of society, I did not choose. Not in my case, but suppose there are lots of example. I wanted to become a sports person, but real matter, our parents will tell, what would do you to become a sports person? There is nothing. But see, Sachin Tendulkar, see all the sport person, how they achieved so much fame and name, and then every wealth and everything they have now. They did not study well, but of course they knew their passion and they pursued, and their parents supported it. Even though the parents did not support it, they did not have that helplessness thing, that limited belief, and they really did well. So we always have to think that our limited belief, our helplessness should not be projected towards others. If I don't know about any topic, I should not just blurt out something out of my experience and tell the ABC person that, see, if I have not done, you cannot do, because it's not like that. All people can do anything. Yeah.
Oh, well said, Manish. And I didn't know you wanted to be a professor and a sports person.
No. I am just giving example.
Okay.
I say, suppose I wanted, I could not have studied it, because that society and that friends and everywhere that you have to take science and not
Yeah.
biology. Biology is taken by the students who are poor, who has less intelligence. You have to memorize everything to become a doctor. Like kind of belief is still there in me because they have, and who has told me, who never had attempted to become doctor and engineer. They are the
True.
common people around us, moving around us, like unemployed person. There you must have been with them. In our villages, there are some people who does not do anything,
Mm-hmm.
and they are really like a helper kind of people staying with your family and then your neighbors, and they will guide you, being they are senior to you in age,
Yeah.
so they will tell you, see these things are false and given, and they will project the society and they will project the ideal things. So you can see that the person who has itself not done anything, not tried anything, and they are giving us their experience, false experience.
This is
So
something.
that
This
kind
is
of,
something I've learned new. Like right now, I realized, yes, it's the people who does nothing, who are just elder than us. Just they have more numbers in their age. They are the and they are not doing anything. They have never been doctor, engineer, or whatever they are advise us to pursue. I mean, it's really funny and ironic.
yeah, they think that age has given her some age to tell, but age does not give you experience. Experience can only be given when you challenge yourself,
Yeah.
when you go out of your comfort zone. Suppose I have been living in the same cell like a frog in the well. You know the story.
Yeah.
The frog in the well. How can they know the world around them unless you the sea, that the whole sea? So those kind of people are always will always be there. Now we have lots of technology in hand. We can research about it. Earlier, at my time, it was not
Hmm.
like that. We have to depend upon the word of the experienced people. We think
Yeah.
that, oh, that person has experience. They have gone through those
Yeah.
experiences,
Yeah.
but it's not
Yeah.
like that. Experiences vary, depends on whether you challenge yourself or not. So
Yeah.
it's like
I can connect with you so. I mean, I mean, it resonates with me clearly, and thanks for the point. That showing me these people, because even if when
yeah,
I go out, these people come. The staff members in our shop, they will come and suggest me do this, do that, and the neighboring
yeah.
saber shop owners will come and they will. So yeah, that was a good realization. Thanks, Manish. So I'll tell about one story, one funny story. When I was kid, I had this uncle, maternal uncle, who used to come and he used to say that Biharis are good at mathematics, and I instilled that belief. And he also said that Biharis are not good at English, and I instilled that belief as well. And you can clearly see in my grades, like I'm really good at maths and really bad at English. See
English.
that is the
Yeah.
power of self-limiting beliefs, or the beliefs that our elder instill us. I wish I could go back in time and probably slap that
Turn
uncle.
the clock. Yeah. Slap that guy and turn the clock.
Yeah, I mean, until and unless you put in effort, how are you going to get better at it? And that's what I like about you teaching your kids. You showing them it's the efforts that count. You have to put in efforts. Failure is inevitable. No matter what you do, it's inevitable. It gives you an opportunity to learn and grow, and that is the crux of life. If we really uh, instill that belief or internalize that belief that yes, failure is inevitable part of it. Failing doesn't mean I'm a failure. Failing means I have an area or a room for improvement where I can grow. That belief, if that comes early, really helps people. That's the thing. So, Manish, you'd like to add something?
Yeah, that some thought is still coming that those kind of societal thing, religion, everything is based on self that helplessness, that learned helplessness. They always they try to make people feel that they don't have control over anything, and that's what in every religion it is taught, that you don't have control on everything. You have to depend on the God, and God is like is man created. God is nowhere, nothing. It's like they have made something that, see, this is the God, universal force, and they will control you. You don't have control over yourself. Even if you do hard work,
Yeah.
something happens, you may die. And that is the analogy they always try to project on the people, that, see, you don't have control over your own being, or whether you will be alive tomorrow or not. So how can you think of in future things? This is really bullshit theory. And they all that uh, people uh, from religious sects, they take to advantage of, we don't know about the tomorrow. Of course we don't know. If we could know, then we could we had not doing many things. It's like
Yeah.
bullshit theory. I'm not, I don't vouch for, but of course that thing is also deep rooted in that uh, self-limiting belief. If you don't have self-limiting belief, then you could have discovered lots of things, like all the scientists who really went out of their comfort zone, really went against the society's norms and rules. They must have been squalted, and then a lot could have faced lots of things from society, but they still did. And that's how we now have some idea about this universe, about the earth, about everything. We can think of this. There is a moon. We are not afraid of moon. We are not afraid of sun. Earlier, we used to afraid of everything.
Yeah.
Like there is some lightning going on. We are started afraid because we think that we do not have control. Instead of going into the region we were really afraid of, still we are afraid. Biologically, evolutionarily, we are afraid of lightning and thunder. Whenever this happens, we always want to come inside the room and think that something will happen, because we don't know how these things. And that is how in our childhood and our phases of growth, these things instill in ourselves, and those kind of in every aspect of our age, of our experience, it is there, and it has always been protected from the external thing, from society, from relatives, from parents. But we have, if we have come to discuss and talk about those self-helpness because of the books we read, because of the experience they have written in that black and white. In every books we read, we got knowledge from that, from the experience of the people. And we should be grateful for those people who have really written those books clearly too. And that is really, we have to read a lot of books to become more mature and experienced, to at least question the all the things. We should always, I am always like that. I always try to question everything. Unless I am clear in my mind, I do not believe anything. So
That's the
we should
thing.
all
Yeah.
try to do that.
That's the thing, Manish. I believe this self-limiting beliefs, these are curse to our society. They hinders our development and progress of humanity.
And then, I mean, just I want to, though it's called self-limiting, it's not self-limiting. It has been projected from the
Yeah,
outside world
yeah,
towards us. It has been really repeatedly told by our parents, by relatives, by friends, that you are not fit, you are not competent, you are weak, like kind of things. You cannot do anything, since it has been pursued by the students who has well-off, from the well-off background. All those uh, beliefs have been shattered by lots of inspirational examples we know,
yeah.
we have in our life. And Amit will, we will, this conversation will take us forward to really next episode. We should discuss about some inspirational story who
Yeah,
has
sure.
become
Yeah.
rag to riches, or any kind of inspirational. We will discuss, both of us discuss the story to inspire our audience as well.
Yeah, so before we go, we would like to say that challenge the
Right.
thoughts, and the only antidote to these beliefs, these self-limiting beliefs, which really is a product of other humans' self-limiting beliefs that is instilled in us during childhood or adulthood. The only way is to ask questions to yourself. That is how science developed. we asked, kept on asking questions and looking for solutions, and that is how me and Manish sitting, I don't know, 10
Yeah,
kilometers away. I am sitting here and we are able to talk.
yeah,
That's how
very
technology works. So keep
cool.
asking questions to yourself, to your life circumstances, and that's how it is also called learned optimism, and that's how we grow and we can overcome this learned helplessness, and yeah, life can improve. There's a hope.
So we will discuss in our next podcast that we have already indicated that a story, some inspirational story,
Yeah, sure.
real life story or whatever story, we will definitely read about it and will come to this.